imagine for a second you get pregnant and you tell your boss, you ask them for time off for your antenatal appointments, and they say no, even though you're legally entitled to that. And then you ask them to assess for any reasonable adjustments needed to make sure that your job is safe for you, and they say no. Imagine that you tell them when you're going on maternity leave, they say no. And imagine as soon as you go on maternity leave, they fill your role with another person. They don't pay you your maternity pay, so you've got no income. And you say to them, you can't do any of this, it's against the law. And they say, take us to tribunal then. So you do. While you're caring for a newborn baby and you have no income, you are fighting through a complex tribunal process that takes months. Eventually you get to tribunal. Of course you win, because the law is clear. You know the law, they know the law, the tribunal certainly knows the law, and their role is to enforce it. So that's exactly what happens. Now imagine that is consistent across all employers across the country, rather than just giving parents the maternity or paternity rights that they are legally entitled to. Employers just refuse. If that happened, there would be enormous backlash. I'm sure MPs would be standing up in the House of Commons decrying these disgraceful employers for failing parents in such a terrible way and putting them in such a difficult situation. So why is it that for years we have just accepted that this is exactly how SEND is treated in our country? We've just accepted that not following the law is completely normal. The only way to challenge that is to go through what are unnecessary tribunal proceedings just to get what children are legally entitled to. Now imagine all of that was true and the government said it's costing us a lot of money to pay statutory maternity pay, it's having a knock-on effect on employers, so we will just get rid of maternity rights. We will just reduce them. We will tell parents they have a right to maternity leave, they don't have any rights to maternity pay. Imagine if that was their response to routine law breaking from employers across the country. That is what we're seeing with these SEND reform proposals. Politicians and local authorities are admitting that the law has been completely disregarded, and we are being told that the solution to that is to just take rights away. This is why it's so important that everyone, whether you have children with SEND or not, or are involved in the education system, everyone stands up against these proposed changes to the legal rights of disabled children. Because if they can do this to vulnerable children, which rights do you think they're going to come after next? Which rights cost them the most money? Which rights that affect you personally could be next up on the list of inconvenient and costly rights? We wouldn't stand for this under any other circumstances. We cannot